starting on Thursday. And as the fuel crisis deepened, the nation's motorists were getting desperate.
Fuel crisis gripping the globe is worse than the devastating oil shocks of the 1970s.
Around 80 petrol stations have been reportedly without diesel for some days now, half of those without petrol at all.
The government's been very keen to press and stress that people shouldn't be panic buying.
My message to Australians is please do not take more fuel than you need.
No way, pal. I'm still sitting on a garage full of toilet paper from 2020. Yeah, you better believe I've filled my bathtub with unleaded. Yeah, right next to my bidet full of diesel. So people are panic buying because they think the fuel is running out, while the government says that the fuel is running out because people keep panic buying. And every time the government tells us all to remain calm, the media pours more $4 fuel on the fire.
There is absolutely no need for panic.
We are being told not to panic, but tonight more than 40 service stations across New South Wales are without a drop of fuel.
Will we get to the point where you will have to trigger that act and do things like fuel rationing?
We're a long way from that, David. We're a long way from that.
Fuel rationing is on the cards, which we haven't seen in nearly 50 years.
We continue to do this work to prepare for the worst in an uncertain environment.
The Energy Minister has warned to, quote, prepare for the worst, unquote, amid our fuel crisis.
So are we panicking or not? I mean, this is the worst mixed messaging since the Family Ties theme song told me there ain't no nothing we can't love each other through. I mean, sha-na-na-na! With no end in sight for the fuel apocalypse, some drivers are resorting to extreme measures.
Desperation and anxiety are building for many Sydney drivers, some even turning to crime.
Turning to a life of crime, proving that people will do anything to avoid catching public transport. Let's head into Friday, and with fuel rapidly becoming a luxury we can't afford and Aussies already struggling to pay the bills, the Reserve Bank had this grim warning.
The Reserve Bank has warned a recession is possible if inflation cannot be tamed after announcing another interest rate hike.
Reserve Bank Governor Michelle Bullock has warned the Australian economy is at risk of a recession.
She said that's a situation they're trying to avoid, but it may be a possibility if inflation doesn't start to behave itself.
Yeah, you've been warned, inflation. Start behaving or I swear to God, I'm going to turn this car around. Yeah, and I'll do it. Just as soon as I can find some petrol. One Aussie took the rate rise news particularly hard.
Like millions of Australians, Melissa Bell was watching today's interest rate decision closely.
Melissa there, starring in the world's most boring episode of Gogglebox. While the rate rise is difficult to watch, that's actually how Melissa reacts to all bad news.
We have reports from Paris that Diana, Princess of Wales, has been killed in a car accident.
Yeah, poor Melissa, she has seen a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's smoking, it's flames now. Oh, the humanity.
Yeah, distressing scenes, particularly when you consider that just this week, Melissa's favourite radio host was given the boot.
Carl Sandilands has sensationally had his $100 million contract torn up.
On Saturday, South Australia headed to the polls, and while candidates were out making their last-minute pitch to voters, nobody was working harder than Sunrise reporter Hayden Nelson.
We're in West Torrens at the moment. We're in Peter Malinowskis' electorate. You can see there's a big queue here. Who's excited to vote today, guys? There you go.
If you think that reaction was bad, you're not alone.
Yeah, who's excited to vote today, guys? There you go.
But Hayden wasn't going to be discouraged. Drawing on everything that he learned at journalism/clown school, he broke out the props.
It has been pretty tight for Peter Malinowskis, but one of the things we know he likes is the Moccona coffee, the instant coffee, so that will get him through a campaigning day. We're hoping to speak to Peter Malinowskis soon. We've got the Moccona coffee ready to go when we do. And I've got it here. It's tucked under my cameraman's arm, so I've got it. It's dark roast, so that says a lot about the man.
Yes, finally confirming what we've all suspected, that Moccona is lovingly roasted in a cameraman's armpit. As the morning rolled on, Hayden made one thing clear. He'd paid $19 for a jar of instant coffee and would stop at nothing to get his money's worth.
Apparently he puts a few of these away, one the moment he wakes up, one after his morning jog, one when he gets to work, and then maybe one in the arvo as well, just for a bit of a kick along.
All right, well, hold on to it.
We've got a bit of Moccona for the Premier, bread and butter for Aston Hearn, who likes to do the basics.
Hayden, look, you are a very thoughtful reporter. We thank you for your services and to your cameraman and his, coffee warming pits. We'll move on.
Sunrise host Sally Bowery there, so glad she got up at 3 a.m. for this shit. As the results came in, it was clear that coffee connoisseur Peter Malinauskas had secured a landslide win for Labor. A much worse night for the Liberals, who went from being a major party to more of a struggling book club. But leader Aston Hearn put a positive spin on it.
The pundits, they said that we wouldn't get a single seat. But tonight we will prove them wrong.
Yeah, it's not a failure, just as long as you redefine the word failure. But possibly the biggest winner was One Nation, which secured its best electoral result in any state since 1998. Pauline Hanson addressed the party faithful.
We understand Pauline Hanson has been speaking at the One Nation headquarters. Let's bring you some of that now.
Yes. Pauline Hanson addressing her two key constituencies, disaffected Conservatives and racist Wookiees. Let's head into Monday, and with Donald Trump refusing to give up 4 weeks into the war with Iran, Americans had a clear message for the president.
If you could say something to President Trump and he was going to hear you right now, what would it be?
You are a worthless pile of
And you voted for him how many times?
3 times. That was my bad. Apparently, I'm an idiot.
Well, like I always say, when a president acts insane in a way that threatens the entire world, give them 2 more chances. Trump has been learning that starting a war nobody wants is a lot like moving house. It's hard to find friends keen to help out.
President Donald Trump branding NATO allies cowards for not joining the fight against Iran.
We will not be drawn into the wider war.
There's no convincing plan for how this operation could succeed.
We even had one French official saying that joining the war now would be like buying a ticket to the Titanic after it had already started sinking.
The official then compared it to buying a ticket on the Hindenburg after it had caught fire, or buying a ticket to see Melania at any time. With NATO allies and pretty much everyone else refusing to help, Trump's Hail Mary was a coalition with Japan. So he invited their PM to the Oval Office and turned on the charm offensive. Heavy on the offensive.
I didn't tell US allies in Europe and Asia, like Japan, about the war.
We went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Hey, why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay? Right?
To seal the deal, Trump said, if you want to see my Hiroshima impression, pull my finger. With the Strait of Hormuz still blocked, Trump gave Iran an ultimatum.
US President Donald Trump says Iran has 48 hours to reopen the key Strait of Hormuz or else face major repercussions.
The US president threatened to obliterate their power plants if they didn't cooperate.
Under the Geneva Conventions, it is wrong to target civilian infrastructure.
The old do as I say or I'll commit a massive war crime trick. Well, at least The Hague won't have to look too hard for evidence. Critics believed Trump's ultimatum sounded like bullshit, but it turns out 48 hours later, it was bullshit.
Donald Trump has postponed his threat of American attacks on Iran. The US president this morning claiming the country is in, quote, very strong talks towards resolving the conflict.
Tonight, Iran insists, quote, no talks with the US have taken place, saying any claims to the contrary are aimed at influencing financial and oil markets.
A top person, but we're dealing with a man who I believe is the most respected and the leader. No, not the Supreme Leader. Yeah.
No, I totally have a girlfriend. She's really hot. She just goes to a different school. In Iran. Yeah, and we've done it twice. So with no friends, no negotiations, no ships passing through the strait and no end in sight, Donald Trump did what any wartime leader would do in a crisis. And this is true. He went to Elvis's house.
President Trump now arriving at Graceland for a bit of a detour on his stop.
Unfortunately, I never met Elvis, and that would be one I would have liked a lot.
Elvis had 2 8th-degree black belts in karate. One was in Kenpo, and that's what this
Was he really good, or was it just...
Actually, he was really good.
Okay.
He started practicing.
Could I have taken him in a fight?
And why not? If Trump can't beat Iran, maybe he can beat dead Elvis.